So what's going on, everybody? So today we're gonna talk about these, the Nike Air Max 90 Camo Pack. So with this iteration of the Air Max 90s, they put out a Camo Pack. It was a iteration of at least about 5. Doing limited research, I looked up about at least five of these shoes that were different configurations. As you can see, there's 3 right here in this shot. I managed to cop 2 of them. These 2 right here, you can see the one at the top and then the one in the middle are these 2. So it's your tried and true Air Max 90. As far as the overall design technology inside these shoes is pretty much the same. And as you can see over there in the heel unit, that's the heel unit inside the Air Max 90. And that's just the evolution starting with the Air Max 1. So if you look in that area right there, that's what you got over there. So that's the Air Max 90 Air unit. Now, they don't have any Air Max unit inside the forefoot or anything like that, but as you can see, that is pretty thick with that foam, which it pretty much adds to the comfort of the actual shoe. So if we take a look at the insole, nothing really special or to speak of about the actual insole. The only thing I've noticed that the traction pattern on this actual insole is the traction pattern of the Air Max 1. Now, I don't know if that actually adds to the comfort of anything like that, because I think this shoe in and of itself is comfortable on its own, right? And so it's comfortable for a few reasons. Obviously, it's comfortable. You got your Air Max unit. And from what I've seen, the Air Max unit, I ain't going to all no technical type stuff or anything like that. I think it's a little bit lower pressure than some of the other Air Max that I have. So it has a little bit more give. If you look at the thickness, if you go all the way from here to here, and you got all that cushion there, even though it's not air, that's still, every Air Max unit that I have, and I have quite a few, they're all this level of comfort. And so that's one of the reasons why they're so comfortable, right? And so some of the materials, if you look at the toe cap right there, there's some type of mesh material going on here. And if you look at this area right here, you would think that because it protrudes out a little bit, it might push down on the shin or something like that, but that's not the case. And so with the regular materials, I think taking something that is just pretty much normal everyday life, something that we take for granted in a country, especially a country like the United States, we take shoes for granted. Everybody got shoes. It's no big deal. We go out and pay $100, $200, $300 for some sneakers that we'll wear no big deal. We take these shoes for granted. Now, the appreciation that I get from sneakers in particular, just taking something that we take for granted every single day, reimagining them, trying new things with them, with keeping pretty much the overall origin and the structure of the shoe the same, and making something new out of them and actually compelling someone to want to buy them is fascinating to me. And what do I mean by that? Because when you take these shoes, you put them in all type of different colors, which means you will have to do all type of different materials and things of that nature. Now, me being a very small scale creator, I do have a vision of how I want these videos and how I want things to look. So when I actually do that and these videos actually look how I want them to look, man, 100%, there's still some tweaks and things I need. But for the most part, if I can get to about I'm about at a 80% of how I want these things to look, that's good enough for me. Now, as a creator, I'm sure they all have vision, they have teams, they have designs, and when they do these things and they get these things and they come out the way that they actually want them to look, that's something that I really appreciate that. And the reason that I say that is because if you're trying to make shoes of different colors and, you know, different ways you want them to look, it requires different materials. And with different materials, that could mean a totally different fit, because certain colors won't look the way you may want them to look on certain materials. An example I would give, so say if this shoe was all leather, because it's not all leather, this brown, all the brown parts on this shoe, it kind of feels like a low cut suede. I don't think it's suede. I mean, this is Nike, we know it's not suede. But I'm guessing if those brown parts were just all straight leather, it would not look the way that the creator wanted to look. And then if you look at these other orange like parts on there, those look, well, besides the camo, but the orange parts on this look like pretty much like overlays or something like that to get the desired look. So again, I'm not in the creator's head, I don't know them, but I bet with all the research and all the things they did and all the trials and tribulations that they went through, the shoe probably is pretty close to what they had envisioned when they first started designing the shoe and drawing it up, things like that. And again, it's just your normal tried and true Nike Air Max 90. Look at it from that. Like that, same thing. And again, I reiterate, it was a camo pack that they put out, several different variations of camo. This is the other one. I really like those hits of pink that they put on with this one, and it looked like, and it feels like it has the same material as this one right here. There they go, right there. So that's gonna be your Nike Air Max 90 camo pack. If you like the video, dislike the video, comment on the video, share the video. Peace.